Hello, everybody. How are you? I wanted to come on here and we're going to talk about, let me make sure it is recording. Okay, it is. We're going to talk about um, presenting and all that is included with that. And I have my own breakdown of how I do that. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to teach you from a tear pad. Okay, so I want you to, you know, pay attention to how I'm teaching here. And of course, I don't have a class in front of me, but I'm going to give you tips and tricks that I do. And I want you to just pay attention and ask questions, once I post this video below, and we'll get those questions answered, I promise. So let me make sure that, hello, that everything is sharing so that you can see the screen correctly. Okay. So right now, what you should be able to see is this is the EDGE Success System, okay? I love incorporating the two systems that doTERRA has, and there's other systems that's going to come about and classes and so forth and trainings. But I love incorporating these two, and I've always done that. I've never thought that there's just one way to do things. I think there's multiple ways to get the same thing done, if that makes sense. And so this is a way that I like to do it, and if you all figure out something that works better for you, that's fine. Just don't duplicate the system, It's already been duplicated here. What I mean by that is you want to duplicate, but you don't want to basically reinvent the wheel, So you can make it kind of who you are, but be open to tweaking it if it doesn't work, and follow the system because it's a very successful system if you're consistent and committed, okay? So what I want to talk to you first about is the 3 doors of openness. When this was taught to me, it really opened my eyes because I was like, what do you mean the 3 doors of openness? What is that? But it's so genius. So I'm going to go over it with you. We already went over inviting, right, to class and that sort of thing. Well, if you use that and create this 3 doors of openness with the process of IPing is inviting, presenting, and enrolling. It's a process that you just have to kind of get in sync with, okay? And I've been doing this now, it depends on when you're watching this, but now it's been 2.5 years, and it's just part of my DNA now, if that makes sense. So the first door is to learn about essential oils. So that's your inviting. We went over how to invite, whether you're in person or Zoom, how important it is to be face-to-face. And that's, are you open to learning about essential oils and natural solutions? I would love to invite you to a class. That was the invite. Go back to the invite and listen to that. That is your first door of openness, inviting them to come and learn. What you have to offer is priceless. And the reason it's priceless is because you are offering them a solution. They do not have to be sickly people to use oils. They can clean and they can cook and they can use them for so many different things and become empowered right in their own homes. All right. So then the second door of openness, they've come to a class, they have gotten their kit or bought their, membership in a couple oils, and then you do what's called a membership overview. That is your wellness consult and your overview with them as to what their needs are and their specific needs. Share Success has their wellness consult. EDGE Success has a membership overview. I have both. I utilize both. I think they're both great. The third door of openness is I would love to share with you this amazing opportunity. When you want to sit down with them to talk about the business, you actually want to stay away from the words opportunity or business or all those words that kind of scare people. initially, all right? So Eric Worre teaches to just give them a call, text them and say, hey, let's have some coffee. I'd love to run an idea by you. Everybody likes to feel part of, and if you want to run an idea by somebody, very rarely are they gonna say no. Or you can say, hey, I'd love to hop on a Zoom call or chat with you and run an idea with you. We can have coffee over the internet and talk and catch up, and I'd love to discuss something with you. And that's another video that we will do. And then the fourth part is, your mentoring process if they choose to do so. Okay, so I wanted to go over that with you so that you can kind of see there's a step-by-step way. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to teach from both TerraPads and show you the different ways that you can teach and go about things in that way. So let me share my screen. All right, so if you can see this is Edge Success. This is my favorite. This is what I made my write-up by. Okay, so when you walk into the room and you come to someone's house or someone's coming to your house or, whatever the situation is, you greet people, right? Hey, how are you? It's so nice to see you. If you don't know them and someone's having a class for you, hi, I'm Raven. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited for you to learn. And you just create conversation. And you always start class on time. You respect the people that are there and are there on time. If you ask them, you can say if there's somebody coming and they're going to be there in a few minutes, you can ask them, do you guys mind if we wait 5 minutes, for so-and-so to show up? If they don't mind, it's fine to wait, 5 to 10 minutes, but I would not wait any more than that because even if they say it's okay, it's a little bit disrespectful to their time. So basically, you start the class out by, I am so excited that you guys are here and that you're going to be learning about essential oils and natural solutions. They've completely changed my life in so many ways. And I love doing what I do. I love teaching and empowering women about the amazing movement essential oils have brought about in today's world, and the fact that we can become empowered in our own homes and really take control of the things that we're doing on an everyday basis and the things that we need on an everyday basis. And we can take care of those things right in our own homes. So thank you so much for coming. A little bit about me. My name is Raven, and I am a mom of 3 children, a wife, and a previous teacher, and now I teach and empower women just like you every day about essential oils and natural solutions, and I truly love what I do. And I'm so excited to empower you guys. So, there's 2 things that I'd like you to take away today. And that is, number 1, I want you to be empowered. I want you to bring essential oils into your homes and lives in whatever manner that is, so that you can have the change and bring natural into your homes and lives to be empowered, just like I have and so many others. And the second thing is I want you to share your stories, and I want you to not only hear what I have to teach you, but I want to hear what you have to teach me about you. And so you need to be empowered today. Don't leave here without it. And the second thing, like I said, is I want you to bring essential oils into your homes and lives so that you can see the amazing movement that they have caused and the reason why, and have your lives too empowered. The reason I state that I have two intentions for you. One, for you to be empowered right in your own homes. And say it, lower your voice and bring your voice down a little bit, because I get excited. So you want to bring your voice down a little bit so that, because tone, believe it or not, when presenting is huge. So you have to know when to raise, lower, keep it even, all that kind of stuff. Because people's excitement is a lot of times based off of your tone. You know, so many people can read into tone, right? If you say something one way or say it another, people can interpret it in two different ways, right? So remember that that's so important. So I lower my tone, and because I want them to know that I'm being completely sincere, and I truly want them to take that from the class today. And I also am not afraid to say, I want you to become empowered. And I want you to bring essential oils into your homes and lives. I'm stating that intention because I don't want the misconception of I don't want them bringing them into their lives. I do. So not only do I want them empowered and educated, but I want them to bring them into their homes and lives so that they can then start the journey of this amazing movement of essential oils and how much it can change their lives. Does that make sense? So then I say, so let me just tell you a quick little story about me, and then we'll move on to all this excitement. So my story with essential oils started with a tremendous amount of pain. I fell down my deck stairs, and for 13 months, I was in a tremendous amount of pain. And we're talking the type of pain where I was sitting on the couch with my family on a Sunday night, and I would just see stars as we were watching a movie because I just couldn't focus. I felt I had no life. I was crying all the time. I was depressed because I was in so much pain. I was on Motrin 800 until my stomach started bleeding, and they banned me from it because I would take it like candy because it did nothing for me, and that's all they gave me at the time. They eventually put me on Percocet, which knocked me out, so I had to only take it at night, so then I had to deal with the pain all day, and I was just beside myself. I was screaming and yelling at my kids and my husband, and I was just miserable. And I went through, you know, everything that I thought I was supposed to go through. I went through pain management. I did trigger point injections. I did prolotherapy, which was awful. I did chiropractic. I did Rolfing. I did medication. I did it all. I did deep tissue massage, and I was spending $90 to $260 a week in copays. My copay was $30, and so each time I went to the chiropractor, it was $30 a pop. Every time I, got medication, that was a cost. Every time I went to my massage therapist, which was weekly, that was $80. So I was spending a lot of money just on copays and just trying to keep myself afloat because of how much pain I was in. And finally, a year later, after already being rushed to the hospital after I fell, having an x-ray, 6 months later, having an MRI by the pain management doctor who overlooked the issue, 13 months really later, I went to an orthopedic who started everything over, did an MRI, saw that I had 2 bulging discs, which was what was causing what I had, was sciatica. And so it started in my lower back and started radiating down my glute, down my my thigh, and into my my hamstring, and all the way down into my foot, affecting my gait, my walk, and everything. It was horrible. I ended up having a microdiscectomy where they removed the bulging disc that was sitting on that nerve. And I tell people that surgery is not always a cure-all, and there's always side effects to that. And we all need modern education, and we all need, today's healthcare. We have amazing doctors and nurses that work here in the United States, and we always will need that. But after my surgery, the sciatica was gone, but I developed what's called bursitis on both sides of my hips. And so I felt like I went from basically one hell to another. And there was nothing they could do. They had done on each side of my hips the injections that help with the pain and, help with inflammation, and it just wasn't working. And so I'm in the doctor's office crying and, just really saying, why me? Because at the time I was 35, 36, and I just felt like my life was over because I was active. I bike rided and I did body combat and I lifted weights and, not that I'm some bodybuilder by any means, no way, but I like being active and I couldn't at all. And a friend came to my home and said, Raven, you've been pretty nasty lately. And, I've gotten into essential oils, and I call her my hippie friend. And I'd love for you to come to this class that I'm having. And I knew that her kids hadn't been really sickly and they're really healthy. And she was always kind of bubbly. And I was at that point of desperation, I guess would be a really good word for it. And so I went to the class thinking, what the heck is this going to do for me? This is a joke. I called them the voodoo oils. And I remember sitting in that class, and you know how you can half listen? And I was looking at some of the paperwork that they had given out at the class. And I remember thinking to myself, there's something to this. And I didn't sign up with her, but I went home and I really dug deep and did some research, and I'm a researcher, so that was a big thing for me. And I was ready for a change anyway in my career. And I was at that point in my life of I needed change all around, And so I jumped all in and I started using the Lifelong Vitality Pack and Deep Blue and Deep Blue Rub. And that's all I started out with. Because I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna, take vitamins so I feel healthier and, just, take the Deep Blue Rub because Deep Blue Rub's very much like icy hot, but better and non-synthetic. And so that's what I did. And I remember 32 days later, driving my son to football and literally blurting out loud, I'm not in pain. Oh my God, I'm not in pain. What? And I remember playing games with myself thinking, it's just because I took, medication this morning or whatever. But you have to understand that I was on medication, but it was only masking the pain. It was not taking it away. It was not changing the fact that I was in pain. I got immune to Percocet. So what I did is for 3 days, I didn't take anything. And I was in pain. Now, mind you, I have my days. Believe me, I have my days. But I'm not in that chronic state anymore. And from that moment, I decided that if it was the last thing I was going to do, I was going to help other people like me. And of course, my journey spread from there. But on top of it, I have a million more stories, with, seasonal threats, with just your basic immunity, with mood, and so many other things. So what I want you to do before we get started, so now I have to bring this other form up for you guys. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to make this one bigger so you can kind of see it. This is the back of the Edge Success Tear Pad. So what I asked them is, before we get started, do you see where it says 1, 2, and 3? What I want you to do is I want you to write down the top 3 reasons that maybe that you're here, or what you personally may need some support with. And to give you some suggestions, and I always give suggestions because it just helps getting their brain going. And I say, you know, for mood, you know, so much is going on with anxiety and depression and, you know, stress and all these different things and triggers in life. So mood is a huge issue and we totally need to support it. It's a huge issue for women today. Then you have aches and pains, you have, you know, just basic immunity, you have just bringing natural into your home, maybe cleaning and cooking with essential oils, because we don't have, you know, a whole lot of control alone with the environment, but we do have control completely in our own homes. So if we can bring natural into our homes and lives as the first go-to, that's always my choice. And I'm sure it's yours too. So write down your top 3 reasons. So I have them write those down, and then we'll go back to this form again. And so I'm going to share my screen with that one. And then we're going to start the class. Okay? So try to get through that first part within 15 minutes. Okay? I'm not looking at the time, but just try to get through that within 15 minutes, okay? And then you just go through them. You can literally read word for word if you want to. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are what I call the lifeblood of the plant. It's nature's defense to the outside world. Okay, and they're natural aromatic compounds found in seeds and bark and stems and, you know, roots and flowers and other parts of the plant. And they're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs, which is awesome. So let's do this. I'm going to do the peppermint test with you guys. So I get my peppermint out. And what I first do is I do it to me first. I put 1 drop in my hand, rub it together, inhale 3 times, temple to temple, back of my neck. And I'm like, oh, so amazing. You guys have to do it. So who would like to come up first? And if they don't offer, I bring somebody up and I do that with them. And I do it again myself. And I'm like, oh my God, isn't that amazing? I love it. That 1 drop is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. It's awesome. And then I pass it around and I let everybody do 1 drop. And then I get the wild orange out. I know it says Melaleuca here. I don't do Melaleuca. I bring out the wild orange because peppermint and wild orange smell heavenly together. And it also, wild orange dilutes almost the strong and strength of the peppermint. So I pass around wild orange and I talk about that and I say, you know, peppermint is awesome for the respiratory system and function and breathing. It's also great for digestive health. It's great for temperatures. It's great for feeling fatigued and great for head tension and body tension. And it's also great for those seasonal threats this time of year. And then you have wild orange, which is so amazing for mood. And when you're down and out and just feeling awful, it's just an amazing essential oil for uplifting properties and helping you just feel more chipper and happy and energetic and ready to face the day. And the 2 together are just an amazing thing first thing in the morning, just to wake you up and to start your day fresh and to clear your mind and your soul. And they love that. They talk about it. Oh, that's so powerful and that's really strong. And wow, 28 cups of peppermint tea. So their minds are going and they're excited because peppermint and wild orange are amazing, right? Then I say, so why are essential oils effective? What do they do for us, right? I mean, that's why you're here. What are these oils going to do for me? I mean, let's just get real, right? So I'm with you. That's what I said too. What are these oils going to do for me? What am I going to, where am I going to benefit here? So we just talked about peppermint and wild orange and how there's uplifting properties and with tension and with seasonal threats and everything going on this time of year. And, you know, so we already know we need that, right? And then you have to look at the fact that not only are essential oils amazing and how they smell, some of them, remember that, some of them, but the cool thing is they actually address the cells at the cellular level versus mask the issue and not take it away completely. I would much rather something address and protect my cells at the cellular level and work at the cellular level than to just mask the issue. And then I say essential oils are nutrients to the cells, which is why they're so beneficial to us. And their unique chemical structure allows oils to pass directly through the skin and immediately cause a systemic response to the topical application. So what that means is essential oils penetrate through our skin within 30 seconds. So you're actually helping your body and they get to your cells within such a quick amount of time to address your body and supporting the needs that your body needs within 30 seconds. That doesn't mean that you'll have immediate relief, but it means that it's starting to go to work. So let's talk about the top 3 reasons why we use essential oils. So these are 3 things you want to take with you because this is huge of how you use them. And the thing is they're so effective. So the cool thing is they're safe and they're effective. They work and they're also much cheaper than everyday items that you may buy at the grocery. So the first way you use essential oils is aromatically. So that's when I pass around Breathe. I pass around lavender, and I pass around typically frankincense. And I just start passing oils, okay? And then I talk about them as they're going through and everybody's passing them around, and I tell them, just like you did with the peppermint, 1 drop. And then if it's a hot oil, I'll tell them as it's going around, okay? So let's go through this. So aromatically, you inhale it, you have a diffuser. Nobody can not have a diffuser. You have to have one because it's gonna be amazing for your mood, cleans the airways, supports your breathing and your respiratory health, and it also is just an amazing, amazing support of mood and, you know, all the different issues that we have that go along with stress. It also gets into when you inhale an essential oil, it gets into what's called the limbic system within your brain. And this is how it changes the brain's chemistry so that your mood actually does change. So if you start off in a bad mood and you inhale certain essential oils that are known for their therapeutic properties in changing mood and helping and supporting and making the mood better, this is why, because it gets up into your limbic system, which is a part of your brain in which changes the chemistry of the brain and your mood. It's genius. And I actually teach a class on essential emotions. It's just amazing. So we're passing around Breathe. Breathe is amazing. I love it. It promotes easy breathing, great for the respiratory health. You can diffuse it. I diffuse it in every single one of my blends. You can put it on your lungs in which to open up your airways. And all you need is 2 to 3 drops on the chest or back or bottoms of your feet. If you don't like the smell, throw on some socks and you are still benefiting in an amazing way. The second way to use essential oils is topically. Like I said, when you put an essential oil topically, it absorbs into your skin within 30 seconds. It's amazing how effective they can be and effective they can penetrate into the skin, reach your cells, and start working and going to work. It's extremely powerful. And just 1 drop of an essential oil can actually service the whole body each and every day. So you can put them on your bottoms of your feet, you can put it on your chest, you can put it on the back of your neck, which is a quick way to reach your brain. Frankincense is an essential oil I put at the roof of my mouth. For example, topically is Deep Blue. So I pass around Deep Blue rub and say, if you have any aches and pains, go ahead and throw it on. And I say I have an amazing roller bottle to support those aches and pains. Because as you know and heard, my story started with that. You can do the back of the ears and the chest and the feet. Every part of your organs, and all of your organs are in your feet. If you're familiar with foot reflexology, you know this, and your brain is in your big toe. So that's a big focus. And dilution is super important when putting on essential oils topically because it gets the oil into a larger surface of the area in the skin. And then it also enhances the essential oils and what they can do. So I know there's a misconception with dilution. So not only is it protectant of the skin, especially for children, you want to always dilute, or people with sensitive skin, but you also want to know that it gets it to a larger area and also enhances the effectiveness of the essential oil. It does not enhance it. It actually makes it work better. So that's really cool. And the third way to use essential oils is internally. And this is a personal preference. People don't have to use it internally. I know there's a big stigma on this, and that is, oh, you can't take essential oils internally. And I agree with you if you're going to Walmart or Target or Ross and all these places that are selling essential oils for $3.99 and says that you can buy jasmine and rose any time of the year. And if you smell them in comparison to doTERRA, you'll see such a huge difference, and you'll realize that they're filled with synthetics and fillers and are not pure. So it's really important to know where that essential oil comes from. And so putting it on or taking it internally is huge. I put lemon in my water. I do spearmint and cucumbers in my water. I do digestin if I have an upset belly. I'll even put digestin on my stomach if I have gas or an upset belly. And it's just an amazing way to use essential oils, and you can soothe your throat. You can, help with your digestive system and your urinary system and your kidneys and flushing your system. And it's just an amazing way to use those essential oils. You can put them under your tongue, at the roof of your mouth, in your water, in your food. I put cilantro and basil, and in my shrimp, and I love using cumin. So there's many different ways you can use essential oils internally. So as I'm going through these three ways, I am passing around oils religiously and talking about them. And just like you can have this TerraPad in front of you, you can have like a paper that you printed out in front of you on the oils that you're passing around. And I always pass around a minimum of 8 oils. So peppermint, wild orange, breathe, frankincense, typically I'll pass around rosemary, I'll pass around lavender, I'll pass around serenity, and many different oils. And I can write a list for you. And then what I do is in the beginning when I was first learning, I wrote down, bullet points of 4 different things that each of those oils did, or 3, okay? So then I say, okay, so now we're on to the area that I love most about these essential oils, because we just talked about the 3 ways to use them, why they're effective and how they, get into our cells within 30 seconds and start at work. I call them the little warriors in our body that help our bodies heal themselves. And it's just so amazing to me. And, to be quite honest with you, what's even more amazing is where these oils come from, where they're sourced. This goes back to what I said about going to the grocery store and getting an essential oil that's filled with fillers and synthetics, and why doTERRA is now the #1 essential oil company in the world, did that in 7.5 years, and became a billion-dollar company. So what that means is sourcing is where these oils come from. So frankincense is from Somalia. You have lavender from Bulgaria. You have peppermint from Washington State. And what that means, I always state 3. And what that means, so know 3 oils and where they come from. And what I say is, the cool thing about this is that's where those oils grow most indigenously. And what that means is the soil, the habitat, the climate, and everything about where that essential oil is growing is 100% and completely pure, so that plant can grow in its most natural state, which is why it's not needed to fill it with fillers and synthetics and so forth. Because if you grow your essential oils in their most indigenous state, where they're going to grow the most naturally, and then doTERRA not only does that, but they take it so many steps further than that. They do multiple third-party testing before they even bring it into their own warehouses and do their own testing on top of that. So it's just amazing. And, you know, I always say the proof is in the pudding. The proof is always in the numbers. It's not about, you know, what someone says. Everybody has, you know, their opinions. I want facts. Give me statistics, give me the research. And not only does doTERRA have the research and science to back up everything they do, they are 100% committed to us, and they're 100% committed to the integrity of the company, which is by far so huge to me. So another thing that doTERRA does that touches my heart is they do what's called co-impact sourcing. So like I said, essential oils are grown in multiple different areas in which they grow in their most natural state. And the cool thing that doTERRA does is they give back, which we don't do enough of that in this world, right? So they help, and you know, the growers and the cooperatives and everybody that's involved in other countries that we use their soil and their climate and, you know, their habitat, and we need people to be able to take care of those plants in the most natural way, and we need to be able to train them and educate them on, you know, the way to do it right. And so we've given them jobs in other countries and served them and given back, because, you know, this world is a full circle, and when we give unto others, we're going to have our needs fulfilled as well. So they have improved growing and harvesting and practices because of this amazing co-impact sourcing. And it's created such a consistent high quality in the growing and in the oil, and in the fact that they care so much about these oils just like we do, because our US dollar is so much to them, and they are so thankful to have just a job, and they put so much. It's so different from the US because they put so much of their heart and soul into what they do. It's so wonderful to see. So let's talk real quick about the different therapeutic grades, okay? So we have our, you know, synthetic grade, which is, you know, the different things that we can go get in the outside world and take internally to help with head tension and aches and pains. And you know, it's not as healthy for us and causes a lot of reactions within our body, because anytime we put something that is not natural into our body is going to react differently, because our bodies are a natural organism. So we have our synthetic, food, therapeutic, and certified pure. And so I'm going to go over this. So synthetic is what I was just talking about. Things that have additives in them that are not natural, like our shampoos and our conditioners and our toothpaste and all these things out there that actually have harmful effects to us and our bodies. A big thing is plug-ins and candles. I was a Yankee Candle girl, and I'm telling you, stay away from them. I could not even, when I started doing research on this, I could not even read any of the ingredients. I could not pronounce them at all. And we know that if we can't pronounce something, that it's not something that should be going into our body, and it's definitely not natural. The next is our food grade. I remember my mom used to tell me, Raven, and because she's always, you know, she's been on Weight Watchers and she's so thin, she didn't even need to be on Weight Watchers, but it just taught her a healthy way to eat. And they say stay on the outer parameters of the grocery store. Okay, do not go into the internal parameters and the inside, because that's where all your synthetic and food grade items are. And you know, the food grade items that have synthetics in them are your crackers and, you know, your cookies and your cakes and your canned foods and all those things that are honestly just not natural. Much better to eat fresh fruits and vegetables or grow your own. Another thing is, you know, the therapeutic grade goes back to the shampoos and conditioners and those types of things that are just not healthy these days. When I started doTERRA's toothpaste, it was kind of different for me at first, but you know, anything that we introduce to our body that's different, our body actually puts a stop sign up. And so I was going to fight this because I was like, there's no way, because, you know, I want to use this. I want to use this natural product, and I'm changing my home. So I got the shampoo and the conditioner, the facial line, and I got um, the body wash because I wanted natural. I stopped going to Bath and Body Works because I realized how much synthetics was in that. It's amazing how much synthetics and harm there is into the world that we think is awesome, and I did too. And it's heart-wrenching, the fact that, you know, I stopped using perfume, I stopped using the outside toothpaste, and I stopped using the shampoos and conditioners, and I stopped using the, you know, the body washes and, you know, Bath and Body Works, which I absolutely loved, along with my Yankee candles that I would put under the light bulb and would smell my home like heaven. Um, but I wasn't realizing that that was what was causing such horrid head pain for me and head tension, and really was what was causing a lot of things that I was going through that I had overlooked. Because a lot of times we'll have belly issues, or we'll have maybe a headache, or we'll have, you know, different things. Have you ever walked in a room with perfume and you immediately got a headache? It's because of the chemical fumes that are in that perfume. It's not natural, and our bodies react to it. And there's certain things that smell good to us that are just not good for us, kind of like cookies are good, but they're not good for us. So it kind of goes back to that. So now let's talk about certified pure therapeutic grade. You know what synthetic grade is? That's your, you know, different things that you can take that, you know, if we're not going to go to the doctor and get something from them, we can go to Walgreens or CVS to get. And honestly, they're full of synthetics and not good for us. The food grade, that's the processed food that we eat. Then we have the therapeutic, which is, you know, to go through that, therapeutic is more like your natural items that say therapeutic grade, or your essential oils that are at Walmart now and Ross and, you know, other places that say therapeutic grade. But if you look on the back of the bottle, it actually says do not ingest, do keep out of reach of children, in big bold letters on this tiny bottle. And then it doesn't even really say where it's from. You have no idea how it was grown, sourced, anything. And if you smell it, and you know what an essential oil should smell like, you'll know that it has fillers and synthetics in it. So now we're at certified pure therapeutic grade. I've kind of been all over the place here because this is kind of important. doTERRA has certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. So what does CPTG mean to you right now? Nothing, okay? And the reason I say that is because it doesn't mean anything at first until you know the science and research behind it. So just like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or any other company out there has a what I call trademark, okay? I have a company, it's called Healthy Life and Oils, and my trademark is choose you, screw excuses, okay? So what does that mean, choose you, screw excuses? Well, what I mean by it is I work with women as a health coach and in educating them about essential oils and natural solutions to bring natural into their home and life, to choose them first. I work with women who've let themselves go and really given their all to their family, their kids, their husbands, and everything and everyone except themselves. And they're at that point in their life where they're like, darn it, I'm going to think about me for a minute. I'm going to take care of me, because if I don't take care of me, then I can't take care of anybody else anymore. And so I work with women who decide to choose them and screw all the darn excuses that are out there. And so that's what that means to me. I back it up with what I do and what I educate them with and the tools that they leave me with. And so, you know, it's important to know what CPTG means, because to anybody else, it means nothing. But what doTERRA means by it is what they stand for. They're certified essential oils, meaning they've gone through multiple, I'm not talking one or two, I'm talking multiple third-party testing and chromatography and all these different testings that it goes through and dripping through to make sure that just the essential oil is taken, no synthetics, no fillers, completely natural, grows in its most natural state, and is 100% tested, scientifically proven to help you and be effective and be a huge support to your body and healing itself. And there's research to back every last bit of it up. And that's what certified pure therapeutic grade means. And that's what doTERRA stands for. And that's the integrity in which they upheld. And that is why they became the most amazing essential oil company in the world, the #1 essential oil company in the world in 7.5 years. And I say that because it still blows my mind, being an Apple girl, that they beat Apple to a $1 billion company, meaning they hit a $1 billion company in 7.5 years, which is quicker than Apple hit a $1 billion company. Now, Apple has surpassed doTERRA because they've been around a long time. And of course, Apple's freaking amazing. I have everything Apple. But they beat Apple in how quickly they made a $1 billion company, which is unheard of. It's the only company in the world that's become a $1 billion company in 7.5 years and is truly amazing. And not only is amazing, it's effective. And they provide such amazing essential oils to us to change our homes and lives in such amazing ways. And I am so glad you guys are here, because I'm sure you can hear the passion behind what I talk about. And I'm sorry if, I know you may not have that passion yet, but as you smelled the oils and we passed them around and we, talked about them and we passed around Breathe and Melaleuca and frankincense and talked about all the different ways we can use them, making DIYs and body scrubs. So in your class, throw these things in. And if you don't, throw it in at the end. I make my own body scrubs now. I don't have to go to Bath and Body Works. I make my own pillow sprays. And, just to touch on the integrity of doTERRA, they took Roman chamomile off the market. They did not sell it when everybody else did. They did not sell it for over a year because it was not growing in the most natural state. And they were trying to find a place in which it would grow in its most natural place. Because where it may grow natural for 5 years, after a period of time, it may not be the place for that oil anymore. And doTERRA is constantly making sure that it's the right place and it's the right place to source that oil. And that's the integrity that they stand by, and they will not sell an essential oil if it's not growing in its most natural state and is the most pure. And that, to me, speaks volumes. So thank you guys. Gosh, thank you. I mean, you guys have been so great. We had fun passing around the oils. We learned so much. And, we talked about your top 3 reasons. And one thing that I didn't tell you guys, and I'm talking to you all now, teaching, when I have them go through those top 3 things, let me stop sharing real quick and go back to that. The top 3 things that they are, talking about and wrote down on this form, all right, is what I go back to at the end of the class, okay? So after I say, so thank you guys, and let's just get started. Let's get these oils into your home. But before we get started, let me go over something with you real quick. We talked about a whole lot about oils, right? Because that's what really doTERRA is all about. But funny enough, their #1 product is their Lifelong Vitality Pack. So raise your hand. Who here is on vitamins? Okay. And what do you like? So this is what I asked them. So what is your favorite thing in your vitamin? What do you feel is the most important for you? And then I let them talk, and we talk for a few minutes. I only take 5 minutes here. And I said, well, I'm going to send each of you a PDF. I'm going to invite you all to my group online where you'll learn more about essential oils. And we have ongoing education. So you never feel alone. You never have to know everything. but I have books. I have the 2 books out, and I say, these are the 2 books. These are oil Bibles, which you want to get. And then you have us. And you can pick our brains at any time, and we teach classes, and we have this group and support. And so you have ongoing support, and you're never alone in this journey. And we'll be BFFs next year. And I joke about it. And I say, you know, I want you to feel comfortable in this journey and safe to talk about whatever you need to talk about. And we all have a journey in this, and we all have a story. And when you all have a story with your essential oils, I want to hear about it, because that story could change somebody's life. And that is what this is all about. So not only are we helping our bodies and changing them in such a natural way, but we are changing others' lives. One step at a time, one drop at a time. And don't you agree? That's what this world needs more of. So I'm going to send you a PDF on the Lifelong Vitality Pack and why it's the #1 product within doTERRA. And the reason I don't talk about Lifelong Vitality Pack in this is because I very rarely sell a Cleanse and Restore kit, very rarely. And one thing I will say is it's the #1 product in doTERRA. I'll say that it has all those things that you guys buy extra of. So a lot of people buy extra vitamin D. They buy extra vitamin B because bees are centered, they work synergistically together and in sync with one another. So for example, what I mean by that, and this is something you can say, so I'm teaching you now, is vitamin B12 does nothing by itself. B6 and B3 does nothing by themselves. When they work together synergistically is when they change the body and how the body works. And Bs are very important to our metabolism and to our digestive system and to our overall immunity and health. And I could go on and on. Turmeric is great for inflammation. It's great for all different types of things that go on with our body that can cause pain. And if we don't take care of the inside, the oils cannot do their work as effectively. So we have to work inside and out. Then we have other products that we'll get into later in our wellness consult, but I just want to tell you about them. We have Terrazyme that breaks down food that our bodies are not breaking down properly. So if you've ever gone to a buffet or eaten something maybe you shouldn't have eaten and your body's kind of bloated and feeling yucky, Terrazyme breaks that food down so that you pass it through very quickly. You have your probiotic, which we all should be taking on a daily basis along with that Lifelong Vitality Pack. So if you have to pick 2 things, Lifelong Vitality Pack and probiotic. And then there's many different other items. There's a spa line, a facial line, and that's something you guys can get into within time. But I'll tell you something about the facial line. I love it. And I was a hard one to sell when it came to the facial line. I love taking care of my face. I love the fact that I have a story from my accident that happened in June where I was hit by a truck walking across the street to teach a class. And I had a huge scar on my face that I was going to a plastic surgeon. And at 6 months in, I was going to have a scar revision. And at 6 months in, after using helichrysum, lavender, and frankincense, you could barely see the scar. And then I show them my face and I say, it's a story within its own. And the facial line is to die for. And I was one that I was spending about $250 a month on my facial care and my facial line. And now I spend less than $100, and it's amazing. And so it's time to get started. And so then I go through the kits, okay? So I'm going to pull up the kits real quick for you guys so you can see. Because I actually have these printed out and I have them laminated. And the reason I did that is because it's much easier to pass it around and people to look at it, even if together. I personally like to teach classes of around 6 people, so it's personal and intimate, and teach more of them than, you know, a class of 10 to 15, which can get kind of chaotic and talky and distracting. So these are the kits that I go over, and this is how I go over it. I say there's these 3 kits here that are amazing. The Cleanse and Restores for someone who I get on when they do a detox. This is the items that I get them to do for me. The Family Essentials kit I love because it's all the oils that I get and I put in my travel bag. And the same with the Aroma Touch Diffuse, along with the fact that I do the Aroma Touch monthly on my family. I wish I did it weekly, but I do it monthly. You have your Family Wellness Kit, which is so great for people who have kids. And all these little roller bottles are pre-diluted, so you don't have to do anything. You get your kids' vitamins, your probiotic for your kids, which, believe it or not, us adults love it. And then you have your Lifelong Vitality Packs. This is a great kit for a family, and a lot of times I'll have people get the Home Essentials kit and the Family Wellness kit because they want something for themselves and their kids, and they want that diffuser. So that's important to say because it plants a seed in their head of what they could do. Okay, people could even do, the Family Essentials or Aroma Diffused with the PB Assist or with the Home Essentials. So don't be afraid to throw things out there. Let them make the decision for themselves. Let them make the decision of how they want to get started, okay? And listen to what I say at the end. The Home Essentials kit is one of my personal favorite kits because it covers your whole bathroom cabinet. You have your frankincense that, if you're ever in doubt, frankincense, it does everything. Immunity, brain function. It's great for aches and pains. It's great for scars and skincare. And I could go on and on. It's one of my favorites. Lavender, I call it my go-to for the outdoors. People think of lavender as calming, and I do make a lavender and Roman chamomile pillow spray, but honestly, I love lavender if I get bit by a bug, if I get bit by or stung by a bee, if I have some swelling in my skin and redness, or my daughter, she has eczema. It's great for that. And so it's great for so many different things. Some jaw aches and pains. And gosh, lavender is so good for so many things along with scarring. You have lemon, that's great for detoxification, flushes out the system, great in your water, and amazing in a diffuser as well, to purify the air and help your house smell good and refreshed. And I'll tell you one thing about lemon, I take the orifice off, put a sprayer on it, and I'll tell you, it'll get a dry erase board squeaky clean, cleaner than you probably have seen it when you go buy it in the store. Then you have Melaleuca. That's your everyday. I use it for hangnails and those aches that come with that. I use it for, sometimes instead of soap and water, I make a owie spray with it. I love Melaleuca. It's so great. For those different things, especially when helping support our body of the bacteria and viruses that can take over. It's a really, really good support in eliminating that and helping the body rid it of itself. Then you have oregano, same thing. It's just even stronger. It's the strongest oil, and it's very, very effective in ridding the body of toxins and things that should not be there. Peppermint, great, like we talked about, great for upper respiratory, great for seasonal threats, great for temperature, great for opening up the airways, great for the, helping with head tension and so many other things. Breathe, same thing. I'll put a hot water in a bowl, and I'll put a towel over it and just inhale. I'll drop a couple drops or eucalyptus on my shower, and it's just amazing. And it's great when you have those yucky coughs and congestion, and helping the body in and supporting it and ridding itself of that. Digestion, think of digestive system, your gut. If your gut's sick, you're going to be sick. It's great for any type of belly issue, nausea, and supporting the body in all those types of ways. Your On Guard is your immunity. Deep Blue is your aches and pains. And of course, your Petal Diffuser. Believe it or not, the Natural Solutions kit is awesome, and I'll tell you why, and is the #1 selling kit within doTERRA. And the reason for that is because they give you 100 in product credits back after your loyalty rewards order the following month, but you also get a little bit of a lot. A lot of people love past tense. Past tense is, you know, a tension blend. It has peppermint in it. So doTERRA has blends and single oils. Then it has your lemon, lavender, peppermint, On Guard, frankincense, melaleuca. It has wild orange, which again goes amazing with that peppermint. Then you have balance, which, it does exactly what it says. It balances you, helps with the stressors. It helps in calming your blood flow and, you know, the stress that goes on within our bodies, in which our body becomes super tense, and it helps in flowing the blood more fluently and opening up that blood flow so that there's not a whole lot of tension within the body. You know, when things start slowing down, when, you know, cells start clumping together, when stress arises, our bodies start shutting down, and balance is an amazing way to help things start flowing again, opening up, moving those cells again, and truly balancing our body. You have that Digestin Aroma Touch, which is super great for helping our bodies get into that homeostatic state, which is homeostasis, which is where it's in that neutral state where those nasty diseases and dis-ease is what I call it, cannot come in. Then you have your Serenity, which has lavender in it, but I call it lavender times 100. It's great for sleep and helping and supporting that. It's great for calming and, again, stress and the different stressors going on. And then you also get Breathe, you get the toothpaste, you get some beadlets, you get hand wash, you get the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Terrazyme, the fractionated coconut oil. You get the Aroma Light Diffuser, which is a step up from this petal diffuser. And then you also get the Breathe Vapor Stick and Correct X. I love Correct X. It reminds me of Neosporin, but oh my gosh, I no longer use Neosporin because I love Correct X. In my opinion, it works so much better and is so great for scars and different things and those boo-boos. You also get your probiotic, and then you get your shampoo and conditioner. So you get so much for such a great price. So those are the kits that I typically go through with people. And then I say, guys, you know what? Get out your sign up and wellness packets, and let's turn to the very back where you see the highlighted areas where you sign up. So these are the ways that you can sign up. There's two ways. Just like Costco, it's a wholesale membership. So we all go to Costco or BJ's or Price Club because we want to save money. We want a better bang for our buck. Well, doTERRA is cheaper than Costco by far. Costco or Price Club or BJ's and all those, you know, typically they're around $50. Or like myself, I have a Costco membership, and it's a business membership, so it's $100. Typically I get that back because I spend so much there. But so let's just go off $50 for a membership, right? And that's pretty standard all around. And, you know, doTERRA's wholesale membership is $35. $35, you get to pick everything that you want, anything at wholesale price, and get a better bang for your buck. That's it. $35, pick and choose whatever you want. The even better bang for your buck is one of these kits. The reason why is because, as you can see, most of the kits come with a diffuser. They come with multiple oils, and you get a better bang for your buck with the wholesale membership that you get, and that $35 fee is waived. So you have two ways. You can pay $35 and pick and choose whatever you want at wholesale, which is amazing. Or you can waive that $35 and pick and choose a kit, which is a better bang for your buck, really gets you started with a lot of the main essential oils, which is what's here in this Home Essentials kit, or in the Natural Solutions kit gives you a little bit more. And it gives you a better bang for your buck because you get more oils, you get a diffuser, and you get your wellness packet and your wholesale membership, and that $35 fee is waived. But whichever way you choose, let me tell you, you will never regret it. You will love your oils, and don't ever worry about having to learn or knowing everything, because you have us. We offer constant support and weekly trainings and weekly classes, and we're here for you. and that's what we do. And so I'm just so excited for you guys. So just here's your pen. They have their pens already. I give it to them at the beginning of the class. So grab your pens, start filling out everything that's highlighted, and then I'm going to walk around and talk with each of you, and we're going to go over your top 3 reasons that you're going to bring essential oils into your home and life, and that's what we're going to focus on. Because as you can see, there's so much here that we could go through, and I don't want you to get too overwhelmed. Many times, guys, people get overwhelmed after a class, okay? It's super important to try to eliminate that for them by going back to those top 3 things. Don't let them get anxiety when they start filling out their information of, oh my gosh, what am I gonna get? I don't know what to get. I'm so overwhelmed. I need to go home and think about this. Oh, I don't know what to do. Don't let them feel like that. Literally tell them, don't worry about anything. Fill out everything here highlighted. You know, you put your credit card number in this bottom part. Make sure that you double check the number and your 3-digit code on the back, your CVV code. Make sure you have your expiration date. And I say that because a lot of times they'll forget it because they have a lot of anxiety when it comes to the purchase, okay? So I walk them through that, and I say, once you're done, I'm going to have gotten to you. So I'm going to walk around and I'm going to work with everybody. Be patient with me because I promise I'm going to get to you. And I really want to make sure you bring the right thing into your home that's going to support you, that's going to support your family, and what's best for you, because that's what matters. But if you know automatically what you want, you can't go wrong with the Home Essentials kit. You can't go wrong with the Natural Solutions kit or any of the kits, to be quite honest with you. But I'm going to walk around and work with each and every one of you. And again, thank you so much for coming. And I'm so excited to get to know each and every one of you. Thank you again.